Okay, the last slide. What we've done to help you in planning for informational meetings is we've put together some resources, website resources that you can go for further information. And if you go to Tool 19, you probably saw some of these already. I think Linda had some of these listed. But there's LEA Central, which has the permit toolbox and some of the other information. We have the county assignment charts, so if you want to find out which staff in CEQA or permitting inspection, financial assurances you want to talk to, it's right there on the website. I mentioned the permit toolbox. We're going to put the permit implementation regs probably right in that area, and we'll update the permit toolbox to reflect the new regulations. Then we have statutes and regulations. I don't know if everybody here has gotten onto has everybody used the permit toolbox that we have on the website? So you know you have access to statutes and regulations right now. You can go back and actually in that area, if you go back to the archives for the regulations, you may have done that. You can actually get back into, there's a lot of information on the regulations in terms of the final statement of reason, the response to comments. I don't know if we put response to comments in, but there is some information in there that helps you understand some of the regulations, and the permit implementation regs will be in there. But we will also make an effort to get the final statement of reasons, which explains the intent of what each section of the reg is doing and kind of justifying the necessity of it. And then we will also have the response to comments available to the public as well. So for the 15-day and 16-day comments, there will be a response wherever we received a comment trying to explain even more to provide intent. They're both lengthy documents, I can tell you. But because the regs are complicated, I think they answer a lot of questions we had on timing, where when you're looking at the regulations right now, it may be straightforward, but then when you start juxtaposing some timing with other timing, it gets confusing. And so we have that in the response to comments, and that will be available soon. There's also on here the Swiss database, a link to that, which provides information on solid waste facilities, anything you need when you're pulling your meetings together. California Waste Stream Profiles, I don't know if you've looked at that, but that has some really good tools on facilities within the county that you could use. There's a lot of information there at high level that you might be able to use in pulling your informational meetings, or there's even maps in there you might be able to pull off. And then on the back page, World Wide Web, there's meeting facilitation, there's information on facilitating. There's even information in here, Consultants International, if you're looking for a facilitator, so there's information there. Court reporting services, it's sometimes if you're going to have a really controversial big meeting, it's probably worth having a court reporter. I know the Waste Board, we have one for all of our committee meetings as well as the board meeting. And we have done it for some big reg packages too. We've had court reporters. And it's nice to have because then you have it all right there. Yes? Yeah, you can tape record. But I can tell you, and when you do regs, you have to do a response to comments. It's required. And then all I had to do is go through and the transcripts, and then I just marked it on there, and then that all goes to OAL, Office of Administrative Law. And so it's a lot easier to document and track when you actually see it in writing. Although the court reporters sometimes don't capture the right words, so you have to watch that. And then we also have a listing here of translation and interpretation services. So if you're looking for someone to help you in a language other than Spanish, that might be hard to find someone to help you with that resource. And then finally, we have put on here negotiation techniques, just things that can help you when you do have to be negotiating with different groups or a lot of different groups dealing with a facility. And let me go back here because we're the last. Erica? Yeah.
A suggestion for the court reporter, if you do use them, provide a key list of terms like windrows. I actually had it windows. And so stuff like that, they're not going to know. So maybe provide a list of words that are commonly used in our job that they probably wouldn't know. Maybe a little small definition or just the words themselves. That might be helpful.
And that, of course, we're looking at the full reg package, not just the noticing and informational meetings. So we will be putting together training programs. We are going to be putting together a, what do you call it, frequently asked questions sheet. And so if we get questions from you, those could go on the sheet, and those will go up on the website like the board does for so many things. So we're trying to pull these tools together before the regs actually take effect. There's an evaluation form that all of you have, and I hope you fill them out. And if you have time, I know it's really hard because you're probably tired and want to get out of here before the traffic, but it really helps us if when you score the presentation, if you can just say what you liked or what you didn't like, where you could see improvement, where things could move faster for you. That would really help us a lot because we are reading them and we are responding to those. And then if you have continuing education units and you need Becky or I to sign the form, or Suzanne, let us know and we can sign those so you get the credits for those. And I want to end by thanking all of you today for coming. I'm using all of this for the implementation part, I can tell you, because you came up with some really good stuff. I really enjoyed listening to it. You came out with some very good ideas that we hadn't even thought about. So it was an excellent class today. We'll have you teach it. You can be all deputized and go out and teach others. And then I want to thank Linda, who's just, I think, really done some really good job in pulling together the tools for us and giving us a lot of good ideas for planning for these meetings. And then I finally want to thank Becky because she made this class happen. She's the one who got Linda lined up and just pulled the whole thing, got the venue set up and everything. So with that, I say farewell until the next training.
And thank you guys.